I am a disclaimer. I am not a medical doctor, but when I talk about depression, I get very passionate. However, whatever I say, if you would like to use it for yourself, talk to your doctor because he's the only one who can prescribe medication and who can do something with your medications. My lawyer is now very happy. I was on LinkedIn this morning, and here is what was in there from Kaiser Permanente. 53% of adults say that the stress coming from COVID, and I'll say also the election and its lack of result and its result and whatever board you are on, is creating a lot of people for mental stress. So 53%. So this conversation today, we are very apropos. Apropos is a French word, so I have to show that I speak French. Apropos. So may I hear from you what you would like to accomplish with this presentation?
Well, I think everyone would love to learn more about what we can do naturally and through, through our diets to help alleviate stress and, just, the subject of your topic is about holiday blues. And I think just the holidays bring additional stress into people's life on top of everything else that you mentioned this year. It's a particularly tough year for everyone. So, I think this will be a really useful discussion. I'm sure people will get a lot of great ideas.
Okay, thank you. I will cover that. So to know our time together, I'll share my story, lifestyle medicine and mental illness. How do we go beyond today? And we will not do a cook along, we will talk more. So my own story is in basically three phases. The phase one, at the age of 12, I started dieting. I had some trauma in my life. At 15, I was clinically diagnosed with depression, meaning a medical doctor diagnosed me with depression, which is different from, oh, I'm feeling sad and oh, it is a disease. And at age 19, 20, after the birth of my first child, I had postpartum depression and I hit rock bottom. Let me be vulnerable here. When I say I hit rock bottom, it means the depression was such that I wanted to kill myself. I wanted to commit suicide. So every time you hear the term I hit rock bottom, it means I was not far from killing myself. And I've been fortunate 3 times for being rescued by family members who will call or who will be there. I'll call them the angels that the Lord will send to help me. The second phase happened after 1994, the birth of my second child, postpartum depression. From a professional standpoint, everything collapsed. I was on the growth path for a beautiful career, everything. And I had to raise that child by myself. And 99, my father passed. It was too much to handle. Another rock bottom. If, and for that second phase, I went to see a doctor. We start counseling and he put me on medication, Prozac. And when I start looking at the side effect of Prozac, its impact from head to toe, the side effects, a lot of side effects. The one that basically scared me was the fact that it created abnormal heart rhythm. I was born with a heart defect, suicidal thoughts. What kind of nonsense is that? This is the thing that I'm trying to prevent, and this is your side effects. I trashed it. I decided that if this disease is going to kill me, let it kill me, but I am not doing medication. Another disclaimer here. It works for me. It doesn't mean that it will work for you. So if you're taking medication, again, work with your doctor. In my case, I have chosen not to take medication. To be candid here, my husband still take a little bit of medication. The dose has been reduced drastically, but he still take medication. So this is a big disclaimer because it is very, very important. Don't you go and trash your medication because Celine said so. The third phase of my story was in 2015 after another massive burnout. And that one there was scarier because in addition to the depression, other health issues crept on. I gained weight, went from size 6'10" to size 16, 18. Acid reflux, we were doing the pre-op things to start operating on me. High blood pressure, high cholesterol. I was a total mess. And of course, I'll hit that rock bottom again. And my sister saved me. That one there, my husband is one actually who saved me from my sister and my husband. Those are the top 10 killers in America. Depression, suicide is number 10. Suicide is a consequence of depression. Usually when you've had it in your family, you know somebody is going to kill himself also. Your risk for suicide in the family is higher if somebody in the family has had it before. And I was listening to a doctor from Harvard today. Even the scientists are saying it. But what they don't say and what we don't talk enough about is the actual depression. 40 million of American adults suffer from that depression. I call it the shadow disease, the one that is there and that is robbing you of absolutely everything. And no, it is not like, yeah, I'm feeling a little bit sad. It's worse than that. When you ask people, what is depression? You have the Bible actually. Give us some ideas. King David in the Psalms talked about depression and anxiety. His heart is in anguish, the terrors of death, fear, overwhelmed, far from the tempest, storm. Yes, those are strong words to describe the strong feelings and emotions that are going on in the life of somebody who is depressed or anxious. If I ask you, you will tell me it's sadness. And I'll tell you, no, it is more than sadness. It's involved so much hopelessness, self-loathing, isolation, anxiety, guilt, irritability, anger. You see, those colors here are very beautiful. I wish there were, when we're going through depression, I wish, it was a nice pie like that, divided with those beautiful colors. It is a mess because all of those emotions are bouncing left and right in your heart, in your soul, in your body, everywhere. One thing that is interesting, a small one that I want to share is actually having depression triggers other diseases. For example, having depression increase your risk for stroke of 50%. This is having the disease. On the other hand, other diseases increases your risk for depression. So depression increase your risk for diseases increase your risk for depression. It is a very nasty disease. In my case, in 2015 there, I knew I was in trouble, big trouble. You're talking about the weight. You're talking about the acid reflux. You're talking about the high cholesterol. You're talking about the high blood pressure. You're talking about the fact that I have lost my job. I knew I was a mess. So my research led me to lifestyle medicine. And actually, lifestyle medicine, I want to call it now self-care lifestyle or self-care medicine because it's a part of medicine that is about you. And we'll talk about that in more details, where we believe that what you put in your mouth in terms of foods alcohol, drugs, medications, gossip, what you do with your body in terms of sleeping, exercising, moving, the kind of product you put on your skin, what you do with your mind. And the research has shown that people with a connection to the divine can handle their life much better than people who don't believe in anything. And forgiveness. The Mayo Clinic has a document on forgiveness and health that is amazing. So forgive, forgive, forgive. And of course, your environment. You live in a polluted area, your water is not good. Ask the people from Flint, Michigan, they will tell you. So this is called lifestyle medicine. It's medicine because it's something that if you manage in partnership with your medical doctor, you can prevent and or reverse chronic diseases. So I start doing it. Surprise, surprise. So I embraced the principles of lifestyle medicine for the high blood pressure, the high cholesterol, the acid reflux. And surprise, surprise, and the weight loss also. Within a couple of weeks, yes, a couple of weeks, I was riding with my husband, and it was as if somebody has changed the lenses of my glasses. So people, those of you who wear glasses, you know what I'm talking about. When the ophthalmologist change the lenses, it's foggy, 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 and suddenly it's very clear. This is exactly what happened to me. I was out and I'm like, John, the trees, the leaves, everything is so bright, so vivid. It was beautiful. Of course, curiosity came in. Lifestyle medicine is evidence-based, scientifically proven. Okay, so I start doing the research to see what is that relationship between the lifestyle and the result that I am seeing on my mood, on depression. The research is abundant. You have people in there who've done tons of research. You have access to it. Today, I'm going to focus on only three things. I'm going to repeat it again. Today, I'm going to focus on three things given the time that we have. However, remember to manage depression, to boost that joy for the holidays, you may want to take a look at absolutely everything in this circle in here on that puzzle. But today, we will talk about sleep and relaxation and food. And for me, from a relaxation perspective, I was burning some beautiful oils, lavender and different oils. But Sandra is here, so I'm going to let her talk to you about the power of oils for your relaxation and your sleep.
Oh man, thank you so much, Celine. So, aromatherapy is something that has been really getting more popular these days in terms of using it for anxiety and all types of other conditions that people have had. And they found great relief using essential oils and aromatherapy. And essential oils are they're natural plant-based products that are when used in combination together can bring about some great relief to people. And choosing the right essential oils really depends upon what your desired effects are. So there's so many to choose from, but um, for the use of helping to benefit anxiety, lavender is one that's most commonly used. And in combination with chamomile and marjoram, there is some great combination fragrances that can be used to help to benefit you. And they're safe and effective. And, you know, the regular use of essential oils can help to calm yourself down, and it can be paired with relaxation exercises. And over time, it's likely that you're going to find that perhaps simply inhaling the same scent will remind you of the feelings of the calmness. So it's a great system, and it's a great practice, and there's so much that can be used in combination with these. So a company that I've been working with actually has some fabulous essential oils, and I'd love to share those with people that are interested. I'd love to share some samples and some information about them. So we can talk about that a little bit later, but thank you for bringing that up, Celine.
You're welcome. Now, when it comes to food, you have big words that comes in: tryptophan, fiber, gut, microbiome. Let's get deeper in them. Yo, I'm using this one in here. My neighbors will say, she said, no, I don't like spiders. I am using the spider here, number one, because they're yucky. And it's my mnemonic to remember how to say a big word: arachidonic acid. Arachidonic acid is an acid that you find in certain foods that create inflammation and increase your risk for chronic diseases, but has a negative impact for depression. Where do we find them? And I'm not going to go deep in that, but where do we find them? In what food do we find the araignée, the spider, that nasty little beast? Chicken, eggs, beef, fish, even your wild caught fish has it. Your franks, sausages, porks, hamburgers, your cold cuts. This is your sources for arachidonic acid. Now, let me ask you one question. When you look at all of those pictures that came in, what do they all have in common? All of them are animal-based. Fish, chicken, beef, pork, lamb, eggs. So tips number one, to boost your holiday joy: start reducing the amount of animal product you are eating. And see, reduce it. Try it. A tip to reduce it is, if you were eating fish that big, maybe go for half of it. And the other half, put things that are healthier. And we'll talk about what is healthier coming soon. Question for you. And I asked that yesterday. I had a class yesterday. How many fiber do you find in eggs? Interestingly enough, this week I have asked 2 people. They didn't know. So please know that there is 0 fiber in eggs. There is no fiber in any animal product. It doesn't matter how organic they are, how farm raised they are, there is 0 fiber. You find fiber only in plants. When we talk about fiber, we usually talk about the gut or vice versa. Have you heard about gut feeling? So that gut has feelings. Have you heard about butterflies in your tummy? Something is happening in the brain and it creates butterflies in your tummy. The science is clear now. They call it the microbiome and the second brain. What is happening in your brain impact what's going on in your tummy, and what is happening in your tummy impact what is happening in your brain. And it's been shown that if you have a very healthy microbiome, actually the food that you eat could, especially the tryptophan, could transform better in serotonin, one chemical that the brain needs for the moods. So we have a second brain in the microbiota. And that microbiome loves one food: fiber. Fiber, fiber, fiber. And the mere fact that you find fiber only in plant food, go for your plant food and have as much fiber as possible. If you are one who doesn't eat too much fiber, please know that when you get started eating a lot of fiber, you are going to, let's be very lady, pass gas, no, fart a lot. So increase, increase, increase your fiber. And the only way you increase it is by eating food, by eating plant, whole food plant. Actually, I won't even go there. We don't have time. Then eat your fats. You have different kind of fats, but when it comes to depression and your mood, it's the omega 3s. Usually, everybody knows that you find omega 3 in fish. So the question is, am I going to eat? You're telling me that fish has arachidonic acid, and you're telling me that fish is that. What do I do? And I tell you, Akuna Matata, don't worry. Go where the fish is finding his omega 3s. It's in the algae. And optimize your omega-3 intake. You have plenty of plants with omega-3s. Your flax seeds, hemp seeds, walnut, your leafy greens have omega-3s in them. So boost them. And while you're boosting your omega-3s, decrease your omega-6. That is usually all the oil that we think that are healthy. Yeah, yeah, it's grapeseed oil, it's complicated oil, it's loaded with omega-6. So you may want to get rid of it or decrease it. In my house, no more sesame seeds, sesame oils. For example, when I am cooking and I'm looking for that flavor of sesame oil, I take the sesame seed and I roast it and I put it on the food. It's maybe not as potent as the oil, but it's good enough because my health matters. I want taste and I want health. So Dr. Brenda Davis basically said, if you eat a balanced diet and a healthful diet, you will have enough omega-3s. In my case, because of the chronic depression, I supplement with the omega-3s. You have different plant-based omega-3s out there available to you. And this is also the one that Dr. Brenda Davis has shared on her publications. All of us, we agree, depending on how they're treating you for depression, omega-3 are beneficial for mental diseases. It's very good for your brain. So I will send people who are interested what I call the depression cookie. There is a doctor, Dr. Neil Nedley, who focuses on mental illness and lifestyle medicine. So he has a cookie that he called the depression cookie. So I took that cookie recipe, and as the engineer that I am, I boost the amount, the quality of that cookie so that you have much more, it's much more interesting for you when you while dealing with depression. It is actually a recipe that you may want to have for Thanksgiving. Easy to make and it is just delicious. Tryptophan. Yeah, everybody knows tryptophan because Thanksgiving is coming and we're talking about the turkey because it makes you sleep. Unfortunately, this is not your best source for tryptophan. Your best source for tryptophan that your body knows what to do with and transform it very well for into serotonin are your leafy green vegetables, your sunflower seeds, your watercress, your soybeans. Actually, soybeans are loaded with tryptophan, your pumpkin seeds, your hemp seeds, your mushrooms, your broccoli, your peas. As you can see, we have different places where we can find tryptophan in our food. Your first question is, what do I eat? And my answer is, hey, listen, There are 80,000 edible plants on Earth. I'm sure you can find plenty of them to eat. And we've made it easier. We've divided them into fruit, grain, vegetable, legumes, and a handful of nuts and seeds every single day. Eat from every 5 groups: the grains, your vegetables, your legume, your fruit, and your handful of nuts and seeds every single day. And the way you want to eat them, you want your food to be whole food, plant-based. We have something that we use in the industry. We call it food that love you back. It's a love affair. It is a love affair, and we know you're not going to love somebody who doesn't love you, even though sometimes we are crazy. Is it a vegan diet? No, it's not a vegan diet. I respect the vegan community. They have a passion, a drive for their mission. This is not what I do. My focus is on health. So as such, I tell people that you have a choice. You can go all in or you can decrease it, but please don't stay on the red zone. And how far, how fast, it is your choice. I'm going to repeat that. It is your choice. You can do something about it. Who said you'll be deprived? I have heard people say, I used to be vegan. And usually when I question them, they spend their time eating green salad only. Of course you're going to feel deprived because green salad is not enough. Look at all the things that you can have. Mm. Mm. Aish. I. Ooh.
Mm.
As you can
Oh.
see, I love to eat.
Ooh, and dessert. Oh yeah, can't skip
And
dessert.
oh, by the way, this one there, this chocolate pie is a mean pie. So easy to make. Anybody interested, drop me a line. I'll shoot you the recipe. It's done zero sugar with all whole food, plant-based, and it is so good. But it's still a dessert. I don't care how whole food plant-based a dessert is still a dessert. You eat it, you eat too much of it, you're going to have too much calories. So I told you. So what are the side effects? I have to be fair to the pharmaceutical companies. I talk about the side effect of their Prozac and what is the side effect of going on the whole food plant-based nutrition. Look at this. Dr. David Katz, you're reducing your your risk for the chronic diseases that are the number 10 killers in America. 80% reduction in heart disease, I'm game, count me in. Less fatigue, meaning more energy. Do I reflect that? No constipation, the fiber will do its job. Improve moods and clearer thinking. So I'm going to stop here. In my case, in the past, when the depression will hit, it could drag in for months, years. It's there, and I keep going down and down and down. Today, if it's coming, at the most, it's a day. At the very most, it's a day. I can bounce back and do my thing. You can sleep better.
Mm.
Less inflammation. So where are the people doing Pilates? Let's stretch those muscles. And look at my skin.
It works.
It works. And I'm going to make a case for food diversification. Anybody who is selling you a food and say it's a superfood, look at them, keep your money. Don't waste your money on so-called superfoods. Every single food has its specialty. It's amazing, actually, when you start looking at food. So you understand that, you have to eat a variety of food to have different things. Look at the following, and this is just, it's an eyesore. It's okay, it's to make a point. When you, for the 10 food that I put up there, when you talk about calcium, sesame is a king for calcium. When you're talking about selenium, selenium is very good for the brain. You have plenty in the Brazilian nuts that I call my Brazilian friend, my Brazilian nuts. It's the chia seeds. When you look at the tryptophan, that wonderful chemical, you find them the best in green soybean. And omega-3, you find them in hemp seeds, flaxseed, I'm sorry. So you see, does it mean that, you're going to eat only flaxseed? No, your body needs calcium. You also need the omega-3. So eat a variety of food. And the same thing with the grains. Every single grain has a specialty. It's actually very beautiful when you see that. The question that people have usually is, how do I start? How do I get there? How do I get sustainable results? And the question that I ask people is, what is preventing you from adopting that lifestyle? And based on my own investigations, talking to people and the research, people usually don't have the knowledge. People don't have the confidence. They don't have the support. They don't have the time. And doctors are busy talking about diseases, and they don't have time. And we all sitting there, you want to do it, and we're struggling with how do we do it? You go see your doctor, I'm repeating again, only 5% of them spend more than 10 minutes with you. It's like, come on, I want to do something. You Google vegan recipes, you have 1.3 trillion. Where do you get started? So you've reached that point where you are sick and tired of dieting. You are sick and tired of weighing your food, of counting calories, of following, these vitamins, this food, this plant, superfood, and all. I was in your shoes. And I'm like, after I went through my own recovery, I decided I have to help other people. So I look at that, I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, bingo, it's about the process. People need a no nonsense process. So combining the fact that I have been 25 years in corporate America as an engineer, as an operations person, marketing, people change management, you name it, I was there. I've done some certification on lifestyle medicine, and I've done lifestyle coaching and compassion and my own experience. I have come up with a process. Yesterday, was it the Thursday, I had a call with Dr. Carl Meyer, an oncologist, who is the doctor who brought lifestyle medicine with wonderful results in Yuma, Arizona. I shared with him the process. He's like, wow. As soon as we start the business we're doing, I am bringing in to teach that process to my customers because it makes sense. That process is about you. It's not a one size fits all. It's about you. Once you go through it, you see what works for you and you improve it. It's no nonsense. It's realistic. It's practical. And there is research behind everything that I say. I am an engineer. I still claim that. I worked so hard for that degree. The approach is simple when I do it. I will educate, I give the ability, I support, and I make sure that I make you accountable, but with tons of love. It's a 7-week process. We meet 90 minutes a day. And when it comes to the ability, you have to do certain things. So in the privacy of your own home, you'll get the ability for that lifestyle change. And because the journey is best made when you are doing it with others, for the ladies of high heel go givers who are interested in taking that journey together, I'm slashing that cost here by 50% to give you something for the holidays so that you can get started. Yesterday, actually, with the group I was teaching, we made cornbread. She's like, Celine, I'm waiting to make cornbread without eggs, without butter. And I look at her and I'm like, yeah, maybe it will work, maybe it won't. And we finish. She's like, oh no, it is delicious. So yes, you can go to that holiday. Well, the next Thanksgiving is a little bit late, maybe, but ping me. I'll give you at least one recipe that you can make for the holiday. And this is it. If you have any question, Sandra, are you still looking at the Facebook Live to see if anybody has any question there?
Let me double check really fast. I think for people that watch this on a replay,